She wore a skirt that was way too short and lost her legs bleeding out. Dating was banned, and caught boys hung from trees until they expired. Girls got tossed off roofs to shatter on impact in this nightmare school. Everyone met gruesome, brutal deaths, one by one. A strange fire erupted here years ago. The principal's wife suffered severe burns and fell into a coma. Still traumatized, the principal addressed the press. The administrator remained trapped inside his office. Firefighters combed through every corner of the building. They found zero traces of him despite the fire. How could there be no body or ashes? They couldn't even locate the mentioned admin office. But the strangest part was yet to come. Days later, the principal hanged himself on campus. Whispers and rumors began circulating immediately after. People claimed hearing the PA system call names at night. Called students became hypnotized by the voices. They walked straight into the office for punishment. Punishments meant weird deaths or total disappearance. With all these paranormal events happening, it took 20 years to reopen as all girls. Before the term started, enrollment numbers were low, so they reluctantly accepted a few male students. Vice Principal Feng protested this decision fiercely. She feared inviting a terrible curse upon them. The principal ignored her, caring only about quotas. 4 boys enrolled, and Feng warned Amin to watch them. She held an emergency meeting stressing the top rule. Absolutely no dating allowed. Meanwhile, Amin lost sight of the boys for just a moment. They looked around, absolutely thrilled by the view. Sneaking into an all-girls school felt amazing. It seemed like a guy's ultimate paradise. Coming here proved to be their biggest mistake. Downstairs, Chang sensed something was deeply wrong. An old woman muttered prayers against a wall. She scrubbed a black shadow with white paint. 3 incense sticks stood in an orange nearby. The entire scene sent chills down Chiang's spine. They then followed Feng to their assigned dorm. It was formerly an isolated storage room. This kept boys completely separate from the girls. They converted it into a dorm anyway. Even eating required Amin to deliver their food. Classes happened in a separate room for them. Girls sweated through volleyball practice outside. Boys struggled with hula hoops indoors instead. Reality here was nothing like they expected. Xiao Di dropped his hoop and left to smoke. Only 4 boys attended, yet 2 stalls were occupied. He used the 3rd stall, but dropped his cigarettes. Bending to retrieve them, he heard laughter nearby. Another girl was sneaking a smoke too. Said it was just a smoking spot. Here, have one. They chatted and learned her name was Sissy. They swapped numbers to keep in contact. Sissy left without saying a proper goodbye. She exited stall 1 while he was in 3. She handed him the cigarette, which defied physics. Xiao Di washed up and stepped out. The 2nd stall was still locked tight. He assumed the girl was still inside. No reply from her made him sure. He leaned down, feeling worried. Sure enough, he spotted tiny shoes. Xiao Di realized he looked like a creep. Embarrassed, he turned away to wash. Yi Yang Jing, unaware, a pale white hand crawled out slowly. When Xiao Di turned back to check, everything instantly went quiet again. Soon it was dinner time. The food here was just as awful as always. So they nudged Chiang to go complain to the teacher. But when Chiang finally found the teacher, he saw her secretly plotting with Inspector Min. As Chiang crept closer, he overheard Teacher Feng order Min to spy on the boys. If they broke any school rule, she'd find a way to expel them. That night, Sissy called Xiao Di, her new friend, and invited the 4 boys to meet in the grove. Chiang came up with a plan to lure her out early, while the others snuck in to snap intimate pics. To be safe, they also dragged Min into a group photo. The kids, all newly smitten, had a blast. It was actually the same tree the principal hanged himself from. You broke the rules, get out fast. Even though the dead principal warned them, they couldn't hear a word he said. Xiao Di and Sissy kept drinking till late. After a few drinks, Xiao Di got handsy. He shoved Sissy down the stairs. She kicked him right in the balls, then walked off alone. Lying there in pain, Xiao Di saw something horrifying. Old hag, you're scaring me. At first he thought it was some girl playing a prank, but the next second, she just dropped straight down. A girl died right in front of him. Instantly sobered, Xiao Di froze. Then she stood up again, in a twisted, unnatural pose. Hurry up, go. Even though the ghost told him to run. He ran straight into the locked school building. Announcement: come to the office right now. He thought the office had staff. He could get help, but he wandered forever and couldn't find it. No one was anywhere to be seen. As the broadcast voice grew creepier, Xiaodi panicked and bolted into a bathroom. Suddenly, a pale hand shot out and grabbed him. Xiao Di was utterly terrified. It wasn't to hurt him, it was warning him to leave. Who knows if the terrified kid understood? He jumped up and ran for the door. The bathroom door burst into flames. The next second, it became the office door. Flames lit up Xiaodi's face. Then, ghostly hands yanked him inside. The next day, the school learned Xiaodi was gone. The principal called the police. But to minimize damage to the school, she ordered the other 3 boys to keep quiet. They didn't grasp how serious it was. Just figured Xiaodi sneaked out to hang out. But as they walked, they spotted another weird thing. The old woman who'd been painting the walls suddenly collapsed, foaming at the mouth. That black shadow on the wall? The one you couldn't scrub off? Now there were 2 of them. Teacher Fang felt something was wrong. After work, she rushed to the hospital to see her aunt. And this aunt was the principal's wife, who survived the fire. She hoped her aunt might reveal school secrets. But the woman just kept opening a door that didn't exist, and mimed lighting a lighter over and over. Turns out, the aunt went insane from terror during the fire. Seeing her condition wouldn't help at all. Fang teacher was momentarily at a loss. So to protect the students, we've got to stop them breaking school rules. But no one expected the next day, someone posted photos of Amin and Xiang online. When Feng teacher confronted them, they couldn't admit a thing. It was just a prank to scare Amin. Luckily, Feng teacher believed them. They had to scrub the entire school floor just to warn everyone else. But when Qiang got close to the shadow wall, he faintly heard someone reciting the rules from behind him. Chan gathered his courage to look. It was Xiao Di, the kid who vanished 2 days ago. His face was deathly pale. He gasped out a desperate plea for help. Qiang hadn't even processed what was happening yet. Suddenly, a ghostly hand snapped his neck and yanked him back into the wall. But a gossipy classmate burst in then, shouting he had a huge scoop. Turns out, Cici was the one who spread those photos. Since the start of the term, Amin had been picking on Cici constantly. Whether her skirt was too short or her hair too long, Amin always snitched. Cici had been holding a deep grudge ever since. Teacher Fang quickly expelled Cici for it, but that only deepened her hatred for Amin. Suddenly, a man's big hand knocked her out. He was Cici's boyfriend from outside school. She planned to shoot some explicit photos of Amin to get revenge for getting kicked out. Then the PA suddenly called Cici's name. Li Shici, report to the office immediately. Who's messing around? Come out, come out. They found the office just appearing in the hallway. Cici, knowing the rumors, got scared. She wanted to run away. But her reckless boyfriend refused to believe any of it. He was determined to find the prankster and beat him up. The moment he opened the office door, a female ghost lunged right at his face. The guy fell, scrambling to crawl away, but the ghost grabbed his ankle and dragged him back. The door slammed shut over his head, over and over again, until he bled out and finally stopped struggling. Terrified, Cici bolted outside. Amin, forgiving her, took her to her room. After calming her down, she turned to get some water. Cici suddenly heard a noise under the bed. She lifted the covers and froze. The bed had turned into the office door. The handle slowly turned on its own. Cici couldn't escape. She fell right in. When Amin turned back, the bed was empty. She started searching for Cici, then bumped into Qiang, who had just finished washing up. They searched the whole school, but when they passed the shadow wall, 4 figures now stared back. They started digging online for answers. What they found chilled them to the bone. Bright red text screamed, "Anyone who breaks school rules will be called by the PA at night," then dragged to the office and vanished forever. Reporter Li Jia still got goosebumps reading it. But as they looked up, they spotted 2 students secretly dating in the computer lab. To test the rumor, they decided not to report it, just spy on them quietly. But Amin quickly regretted that decision. She couldn't risk a classmate's life. So, she told Teacher Fang. The parents were called in. The girl, Wang Guotong, was forced to transfer. She left a breakup letter for her boyfriend. But that same night, the transfer student was packing her bags in the dorm. Her boyfriend burst into the girl's dorm and publicly poured out his heart to her. They couldn't hold back their feelings anymore. Then they hugged tightly. But they were already pretty drunk on each other. They realized they'd been brought to some weird room, and missing Cici was sitting right in the middle. You two are such good girls. Why are you here too? You must have broken the rules. Then Cece bowed her head and started copying the rules, because the principal told her if she copied the rules 100 times, she could leave. But the red ink she used was just because her skirt was a tiny bit shorter than the rules said. Now she's getting her legs cut off. But no matter where they ran, they always ended up back in this creepy office. But to everyone else, in just half a month, 2 murders and 2 disappearances. The school had no choice but to shut down again. That's when Teacher Feng revealed everything about the school. 20 years ago, the school had a brutally strict principal. Her rules crushed the students. Even when they tried super hard, they still accidentally broke rules and got called to the office. But they couldn't report her to the headmaster, because she wasn't just the principal, she was his mistress. Until one day, the headmaster's wife found out. She stormed in and doused the principal in gasoline, then set the whole place on fire. But the fire accidentally triggered an explosion. Luckily, the wife didn't die, just suffered severe mental trauma. But the principal inside? Gone no trace. After that, the school became haunted. They even brought in a priest. He said it was a cruel curse, whether teacher or student. As long as no romance happened on campus, the demon wouldn't kill anyone. Then they rebuilt it as an all-girls school. But the headmaster was clueless. For a tiny boost in enrollment, he let in 4 boys, and that reopened the curse. To break it for good, you had to find the original office and burn it down. But the school had been rebuilt for years. No one knew where the old office was. The only person who did? The headmaster's wife, now mentally broken, as Teacher Feng raged at her aunt. I really want to burn her alive again, because I know that's the only way to save the kids. Right as she finished, the wife suddenly stood up. With a determined look, she started walking in a pattern, repeating the same route over and over. Teacher Feng instantly understood. All these years, her aunt's crazy behavior was actually showing her where the old office was. 4 reckless students snuck into the school, vowing to find and destroy the principal's ghost. But they hadn't gone far when the PA system called their names one by one. He Yimin, Gao Hanqiang, Liu Shuobin. Plan A, Luo Xiaofang report to the office immediately. The students searched for the office entrance. Then a ghostly hand suddenly appeared behind Xiaofang and clamped down on her throat. Luckily, the others had a plan. Chang Mao pretended to confess his love to Xiaofang, breaking the rule. Tiang seized the chance and rescued her. Then he doused the whole office with gasoline. Just as Chang Mao was backed into a corner, Chang lit the gasoline. With a scream of agony, the principal's ghost turned to black smoke. But was the principal who killed so many really that weak? Chang Mao opened the admin office door to check. Sorry, I got the wrong room. Oh no, she's still alive. The next second, he was yanked back inside. They heard Chang Mao's scream. That's when they realized the principal wasn't dead. The thing they burned wasn't the real admin office. All they found was Chang Mao's walkie-talkie on the floor. Xiaofang wanted to confess to Chang Mao's same trick again, but this time he wouldn't fall for it. First, she strangled Chang Mao and turned him to ash. Then she vanished and snatched Xiaomin. Chiang sensed trouble and rushed Xiaofang outside. Then he turned back to save Xiaomin. He poured his heart out to her outside. He said he liked her wasn't just to lure the principal. It was the truth. He really cared. The principal was furious at this bold defiance. He spun around to kill Chiang just as the admin door was about to open. Xiaomin suddenly ran over and locked it. She ignored her own safety, begging him to run. Clearly, she'd fallen for him. She couldn't stop the cruel principal, but Miss Feng's aunt showed up. She followed her memory and soon reached the rooftop. That used to be the admin office before it was rebuilt. She grabbed a Molotov cocktail and threw it onto the roof. Flames erupted, and the real admin office appeared right there. I won't let you hurt my students ever again. They fought instantly upon seeing each other. It wasn't even close. Miss Feng tried a sneak attack, but the principal choked her. She remembered how the principal's wife turned her into a ghost. The principal exploded with pure rage. He smashed a radio into the wife, then turned to Chiang and Xiaomin. At the last second, Miss Feng spotted a lighter on the floor. She ignited the gasoline pooling right in front of her. Within seconds, the entire room was consumed by fire. This time, the principal would finally burn to ashes. Chiang and Xiaomin burst out, barely escaping with their lives. Just when they thought they were safe, the principal's hate revived. He tried to drag them back into the burning flames, but the ghosts of dead students held him tight. They pulled him back into the office after a terrible cost. The rooftop finally went silent, and we thought it was over. But as they were about to leave the campus grounds, she asked Chiang if he truly liked her all along. Xiaomin finally pushed open the heavy door. Xiaomin was sitting in the principal's chair.